Hey all, we just got done with sunrise up at a huge viewpoint close to my home, and we're on our way back to the car. So so I don't talk to myself, I figured I would talk to you for 2 miles about wilderness preservation. Yes, what do you think about wilderness preservation? You think it's an easy topic, right? But it's actually not, and I'll tell you why. So you're stuck with me for 2 miles. Get ready. So what do I mean by wilderness preservation? Well, the term wilderness is defined as a place unimpacted by man, as it is. And it all starts with a new limited entry system that's happening here in Central Oregon for the Three Sisters, Mount Washington, and Mount Jefferson wilderness areas. What is limited entry? Well, exactly what you think it is. It limits the amount of crowds, amount of people going into wilderness areas. And it's a good and a bad thing. It's a curse and a blessing for us, especially here in Central Oregon, because this is our backyard. And for us longtime locals to have backcountry areas, our own backyard cut off and access limited, is quite bittersweet. And to see these areas, my own backyard, being limited to a local, to myself, is definitely sad and a little maddening. But at the same time, I'm glad it's happening, because we here in Central Oregon especially have seen a dramatic population boom in the last 10 years. And the amount of people moving here who want to go into the wilderness and the outdoors in our backyard, it just cannot accommodate that many people. So the Forest Service has issued what are called limited entry permits now into these areas, to help preserve all of this, keeps nature natural, keeps it as it is. And just to give you an example of what I'm talking about, this is about 2 years back. This was on my way up to Broken Top, No Name Lake. It's a beautiful glacier lake, beautiful aqua blue lake. Doesn't even look real, and there's a reason why it's so popular. I hiked 7 miles one way, 14 round trip to get there. And to walk and hike that far and not have a wilderness experience was definitely bittersweet. I hiked 14 miles expecting this wild, beautiful place, only to be met by about 35 tents, 15 of them parked illegally, campfires happening in an alpine region where there's no firewood, and illegal, by the way. Radios blasting, doing drone flying around. Drones, by the way, illegal. So to have all this happening, to hike 14 miles total to come upon spring break in the mountains, was definitely bittersweet and a bit very maddening. Because, you're walking this far, and what do you want in wilderness? You want that, right? You want absolute serenity. That's why you come to the wilderness, to the wilds, to escape all that gray matter, all those silly shenanigans. Leave all that at home. This is what you come for. Peace and quiet, and not to have that for 14 miles going all that way pissed me off, and especially so because I had been there a few years back before it kind of hit the map, and it was no comparison. So that was a little story, a little example of why limited entry is so important. Now what they're doing with limited entry, with Broken Top, especially with No Name Lake, is now they're allowing only 40-day use permits and 3 overnight permits a day. That's it. So minimum 43 people a day compared to the hundreds who have gone up there in recent years. So you could see why it's a great thing. But what do you think about it? Like, why do you think wilderness is important to us? What does it bring? What does it feed, you know? What's its purpose? And I think it's kind of an issue where a lot of us don't really know really what it is, and we're all kind of on the fence about it. But as an outdoor person, as someone who lives in the outdoors, basically, outdoor artist, it's especially important to have such places preserved. You know, like for me this morning, I was able to get up bright and early, not so much awake, but bright and early to grab this view here. You know, before breakfast, and it's mine. No one's around. I have no crowds. I haven't met one person on the trail yet. And it's lovely to have places like that. I'm not talking about having a whole place to yourself. That just doesn't happen in today's world. I'm just talking about the wilderness experience, you know, to be able to come out, you hear the birds over blasting, blaring radios, you know. Sorry, really steep now, so anyway. Just wanted to see what you guys thought about limited entry, the wilderness experience. Have you ever entered a wilderness area? You know, how does it make you feel? Does it inspire you to get out? You know, does it inspire others, you think? Does it kind of condone good outdoor etiquette? Which I think, my personal opinion, it does. Because why would you want to taint and spoil all of this, you know? And I think that's something that really goes hand in hand with wilderness. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We've almost made it back to the car. We made it 2 miles. Pretty cool, huh? So if you like what I'm doing, if you like this content, you like what I'm talking about, like and subscribe, or also take a look at my own personal stuff at stanleypaulphoto.com. So in the meantime, subscribes, comments, all that jazz, just send them to me. Cute kitty pics I take too. So we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.